We'll now look at setting up the eyes and the eyebrows. I've got some simple geometry that I prepared earlier on this display layer here. So I've just got, look, if I just zoom in on these, I've got half a sphere, quite low poly. Obviously, if you're working on a low poly model, there's no point in having a highly subdivided sphere in there. And then I've got this little blocky shape here for an eyebrow. So we're going to use these to be driven by bones. So I'll move them into position to start off with. This is very simple. So I'll move these over here and I'll just get them as close to the surface as I can, sort of thing. So pressing F to zoom in. Doesn't matter if they're slightly off the surface or anything like that, but about like that. The brow is kind of intersecting the head, which is absolutely fine. So that's kind of good like that. I'm happy with that. What I do now, I make a duplicate of those. So I'm picking them both and pressing Control D, and I'll just move them over to this position like so. So I've got Daisy's eyes kind of in place. Get them exactly where you want them. And then I'm going to drive these using joints. It's kind of the best way to do it. You could parent them to the head bone and drive them locally, but it's better to use joints. The joint pivots are a little bit more kind of reliable, I guess. The best way to do this, let's go to our side view. So I can see these objects in here, and I'm going to go to my rigging menu, and I'm just going to create a floating bone. I'm just going to click it there and then press enter. And if we go back to the perspective view, we then just want to get this into position of one of the eyes. You can do this using something like a point constraint if you wanted to snap it exactly to the center, but with these simple objects it doesn't matter. We just want them in the right position. I'll press Control D to make a duplicate of that, and I move that up to that position there for the eyebrow, like so. And then look, I'm just going to hold Shift down and select that one, and finally press Shift down and select the head bone. Pressing P, that will parent the two first selected objects to the last selected object. So those will now follow everywhere the head bone goes. Okay, now the eyes won't, because the eyes are not actually skin weighted yet, but those bones will. What we can do now is mirror these across these joints. You have to do them one at a time. So skeleton, mirror joints. Make sure you're in rigging mode to bring up the skeleton menu. So mirror joints, and we're on the YZ axis. So that one there. So let's mirror that one across, and then that one across. And just check them in the right position, because I wasn't doing everything particularly symmetrical, so you might need to just move these about a wee bit. So something like that. And that's absolutely fine. Next thing we do, we just want to skin weight these things together. So look, I just pick that and pick that, and then go to skin, find skin options, and we just want it set. Look, I've got it already set up, but look, just in case, reset settings, and then just go selected joints only. Okay, and just apply, and then that bone and that eyebrow, apply, and that bone and that eyebrow, apply, and finally that eye there, and apply. So now when we move the head bone about, I can select it, but they will follow now. Okay, and then you can just, what I would do is I would put the eyes and so on a display layer. So pick them all like this, click on that little icon there, and just change them to R for reference, so you can't pick them now. You always want this when you're animating, is just to be able to select the things you need to animate, not objects and stuff like that. It's the same with the Daisy model here. I keep accidentally selecting it, and I should have that set to R as well, so I can't. The only thing I can pick now are the bones and the stuff that I'm animating. So now look, I've got control over these things. I can move them, I can rotate them, I can do anything I like with them. And if Daisy wants to do a blink, I can scale them. The bones actually don't visually scale, but the object that is skin weighted to will. So like, for example, if we want to do a blink animation, I can just pick both of those. So at frame 10, she does a blink. So I have 2 frames in, 3 frames out, let's say. So I'll put the 2 out frames in, the start and end frame in, and then I can just blink these down to like that. And she does a blink, and you can emphasize the eyebrows moving down as she does the blink. So where's she doing the blink? So there to there, so I could just have the eyebrows come down a little bit as she does her blink, like this. And then, yeah, a really kind of simple face rig. The final effect is something like this. I've got one I prepared earlier. So where's the one? It's the one I showed you in class. So it just shows you all the kind of attributes working together. So here she is. Oh, she's looking a bit paler in this one. But there you go. There's all the things kind of working together. And yeah, that's just a nice simple system.